Okay, Bill, here we are with your Pro Reverb, and still in its natural state. Let's fire it up and see what's going on with it before we tear into it at all. Now, this is a master volume version, and that switch is a little dirty. Master volume pot's a bit dirty, but if you run the master wide open, then it acts like every other amp without a master. A little bit of noise there on the bass control for the normal channel. Switches seem intact. A little bit of noise there. Check out the vibrato. A little bit of dirt there. It's got some dirt. I'll try to clean that up first. Let's use the Pro Gold on the pots and see if they clean up. Tremolo is not going to work without the foot switch plugged in. And it sounds like the reverb isn't working at all. Spin this around. Now let's see. Just barely any reverb tail. Yeah, we'll try plugging the pedal in and see if that helps to change the circuit. I've got a pedal here somewhere. I'll be back. Okay, so when you can't find an actual reverb pedal, make your own shorting jack, whether it's for reverb or the vibrato circuit. And as we turn this back around, and just in case there was something that wasn't working right because of the fact that it's not things being shorted because nothing plugged in. So here's a, and well, there's the vibrato finally. And we still have no reverb. So it could be dead tube in the reverb circuit. We could have bad caps for the vibrato. I think at this point we're ready to open it up. Alrighty, well, here we are inside the amp now, and just looking at the general layout. This is the late 70s CBS era circuit. This is what they call the ultra linear power supply, and that has to do with this bridge rectifier circuit that's here, and these extra resistors over here off the power supply, off the power transformer. But in looking at the overall circuit, even though the wiring looks a little messy from the factory wiring, it does not look like there's anything been changed on the top side in this amp. I'm not saying that there has been, but first glance is that it hasn't. Although that cap looks different than that one. It's different text on it. Will the phone camera? No, it won't. No, it will not focus on it. If you do this. Nope, too close. Anyways, the other thing that clues us into which era Fender amp this is the fact that this extra drip rail on the back side of the chassis that screws into the top of the cabinet, that was extra in the later 70s, as well as these captive nuts rather than the chassis straps. So I can't remember where I was before Mike called. So yeah, this is late 70s Fender, especially with factory things like output tubes matching, plus a hum balance, plus a line recording output. So, like I said, this is a linear power supply style. And I guess just for reference, let's see if we can get this thing to focus in on that. There's the serial number. Let's see if I can hold it steady. Maybe zoom in on that too. Yeah, look at that. That is AB36742 for the serial number. Alright, we're going to do a little research before I even get anywhere further into this. Be back in a minute. Just to try to document everything. There's the tube chart. And unlike the older tube charts, this has no reference as far as what circuit this is, what date it is, nothing like that. Okay, here's another way to date the amplifier, and this is looking at the filter caps underneath. And if you see that 235-7904C number at the bottom of the label, that's 79 is 1979, and 04 would be the fourth week, so it'd be the last week in January 1979 when these capacitors were made. So it's safe to say that this amp is any time after January 79. It could be as late as 80 or 81. But so these are original. And trying to come out here. If we let's go ahead and pull the tube covers, and there is some base corrosion going on. It's just because it's old. See if we can get a quick look at these preamp tubes. Oh, gee whiz, look at that. Those are original Fender preamp tubes and original Fender power tubes. Now, for playability, this is an original late 70s Fender Pro Reverb. But for playability, these tubes all need to be replaced. So I will put together a parts list because these caps, these are standard values from years past with all the black face ones that I do on a regular basis. This is a different, those are 70 microfarad at 100 volts, so that's a cap that I don't have in stock. And these guys are 220 microfarad at 285 volts DC, so that's not a stock value from the old circuits, say the blackface bassman being AB165 and my Bandmaster being AB768 circuit. So I will put together a price list for the items to just give this thing a refresh, and we'll go from there. I do have 6L6s in stock. I do have 12AT7s and 12AX7s in stock, and I will switch those out immediately, and we'll see what that brings us just right off the bat, and we'll go from there as far as any other information goes. So there will be an update to this amp. Talk to you soon.